I have grown a successful Magic the Gathering YouTube channel solely through the use of retarded hats. Not really. Here's my tips. Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles, and welcome to my purple tips and just the tips tip video telling you how to turn people in anonymously through like secret tip services, crime busters, all that kind of stuff. You know, Crime Stoppers, you know what I'm talking about? Anyways, let's get into what we're actually here for. Gallagher and a few others have recently said to me, hey, I want to start my own Magic channel, but I don't know exactly what to do. Do you have some tips for me? So while I don't have a step-by-step guide, because it's very interesting, creating a channel is still a relatively new concept, right? It's not like television that's been around for decades and decades and decades. YouTube has been around at most for a decade. And so it's not like there's a bunch of studio executives who are like, okay, we're going to go and find the talent and we're going to build the shows, and everything's created by a handful of people. Everybody has the opportunity to make their own channel. So as a result, it can be a very daunting prospect. I mean, what are you going to do? Now, I'm not going to be able to tell you everything you need to do, but I can definitely provide some tips, some information based on what I've done and what I would do depending on what you want to be doing. So let's start by talking about something that's really important, and that's the thumbnail and the title of your video, okay? And this is really, really, really important. Like, imagine the video that you are making is like soup. Like, you make your video and you're like, oh, mamma mia, there's some delicious soup. And you want people to come and eat your soup, right? That's the idea. Every person who comes and watches your video is someone who shows up and has a bowl of soup. So that's the idea, right? Now, the thumbnail and the title, that's like the house that you're in, right? That's where the soup is. They got to come into the house to try the soup. So depending on how the house looks, I mean, if it's a dilapidated crap shack, you know, like there's a bunch of holes in the walls and stuff, and there's no door, you're like, I'm not going in there, I'm gonna get murdered, or there's nothing worthwhile inside there, I'm not going inside that house. No one will ever come and try your soup, no matter how good it is. So you need to make sure that your thumbnails and title, your title needs to be very clear. You don't want to be going the clickbaity route. It intends to incense people, it makes them upset, and that's generally not what you're looking for. One of the advantages we have here in the Magic space is there are not a lot of creators making Magic specific content. There are maybe a few hundred tops. It's not like other areas like video games where the markets are heavily saturated. So there's room for lots of different people. It's not like everybody's elbowing each other out. So you don't have to worry about that. You can totally find your own audience. Magic players tend to be an introverted, antisocial group overall. I mean, not everybody, but that tends to be the way that it goes. So as a result, not as many channels spring up because these channels require a certain level of reach in terms of reaching out to people and extroversion, I should say. So when it comes to your videos, you're going to want to put tags on them. Tags are the little words that you use down there to describe your video to let people know what they are. Now, you'll want to have a group set in your default area so that they get applied to every single video. Like if your channel's solely a Magic the Gathering channel, then you want to have Magic the Gathering, Wizards of the Coast, and so on, all in your default tags, because those will be associated with every video because you're always talking about Magic and Wizards of the Coast and their game and all that, right? So all that would be included, but then you would include extra tags, like if it was let's say you're opening booster packs, you would say the name of the set. So right now, Rivals of Ixalan is the new set. If that's what you're opening, you'd have Rivals of Ixalan as one of your tags. You'd have Ixalan as a tag as well, just because someone might just type in Ixalan as well. You can add in as many of these tags as you think are appropriate to fit to your video, and that makes it easier for people to find them when they're doing searches. And if you want to get a rough idea of what people search for, you can start to type a sentence into the YouTube search bar and it will finish it for you, and you can look at the suggestions and it will be showing you what is asked most often, which will give you a clue. Like if you start to type in Magic the Gathering, what follows next on the autofills, right? And that will tell you what most people are looking for. So if instead of you already having a fully fleshed out idea of what you want your channel to be, and you're looking for ideas of what to talk about, you can find out that way. You can also basically follow people on Twitter and look on magicthegathering.com, look at their articles as well for ideas, but it's also another good way to end up with ideas. On each video, it's a great idea at the end, once the video is uploaded, to include an end card. What an end card is it's just a link to another one of your videos. So that way, when somebody's done watching their videos, humans are lazy animals, and I'm the same way. I do it all the time. At the end of a video, I'll want to watch something else. So what do? I just look, oh, what's at the sidebar? Or, hey, look, there's a video right at the end of this guy's video that he suggested. Sure, I'll check it out. I like what you're doing. So people will be more likely to continue to go and stay on your channel and enjoy your content, because they already are. It's just, if you make it like even a tiny little barricade of extra effort for people can make it so that they won't bother to watch your stuff when they would have watched it and enjoyed it. It's pretty funny the way we all work, but we're designed by nature to conserve energy. It's a part of animal nature, so you need to understand that and work with it. All right, what else do we have here? We have comments. I just have rough notes. I have a bunch of points that I wrote down because there's a whole bunch of different things that I thought of. I'm sure I won't cover everything that you want to know. If you have questions you want to ask in the comments, by all means. Comments are what I'm going to talk about now and how to handle them. My feeling is that I read all my comments. I read all the comments. I delete ones that I feel are people just being complete douchebags sometimes, and sometimes I just screw around with them. I mean, I've created additional videos specifically that are just, I use them to link to people who are being idiots in my comment section. But what you have to learn is that people are going to be tools. It's going to happen. Again, go back to the animal part of it. You may think, oh, this person's being a tool to me because my content is garbage. But it may actually be because they haven't had lunch. It could just be something as simple as that. It sounds absurd, but you get really angry when you don't eat, or any number of other things could happen. They could have just had a fight with their spouse, any number of issues. They could have stubbed their toe on a chair and now they're hating on your video. So you have to look at the comments and realize it's just some random stranger. I had a problem when I first started where I gave everybody the consideration of them having put a lot of thought into their comment and really wanting to interact. But after dealing with a number of people who were genuinely shocked that I was, like, people were getting upset at me for videos where I was trying to help people, and I was saying, why do you care about me helping people? Why are you trying to stop me? And they would say, why do you even care about what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. Why are you getting all upset? Other YouTubers would have just ignored me, blah, blah, blah. So the interactions you're going to get, they're going to be ridiculous. You're just going to look at them and shake your head. And so you just have to learn to ignore the ones that don't matter. There's a couple of schools of thought on what to do about these people. You can ignore them, you can fuck with them back, you can delete their comments, or you can go full tilt and ban them on your channel. And what banning them on your channel does is they can still watch your videos and they can still comment, but nobody can see their comments ever. So their comments are just cast out into a void. So they can still come and spaz out if they want. You'll never see it. No one else will ever see it. I don't mute most people, in all honesty. I tend to just send them a link to another video where there's no ability to comment and it's just calling them an idiot because I think that's funny. But I'm a special case. You have to develop a philosophy that works for you. You need a certain level of thick skin. There's no way to do this without learning how to deal with the insanity of human nature. People are going to be negative to you for absolutely no reason, and also for genuine reasons. So another thing you're going to have to learn to do is start to figure out when you're getting feedback that's negative but useful, and when you're getting feedback that's not actually feedback, it's just somebody being a tool. I tend to ignore most feedback that is telling me to change what I'm doing because I like what I'm doing, I know what I'm doing, and I want to do exactly what I'm doing. So why would I change it? One of the few changes I made at the beginning was someone told me the background noise that I had, not background noise, but the background music that I had in my video was distracting and unnecessary. And after reviewing and reflecting on that, I decided they were right, and I removed them from my videos going forward. And then when listening to other people's videos, I noticed that the background music was actually a distraction. So there is feedback you get that will be useful. You need to take that, but you can't sit there and pivot every time one of your fans comments saying, oh, you should do this or stop doing this. It's absurd. If the level of entitlement with Magic players is really high. You have to understand, these are people who are used to having all kinds of free stuff thrown at them just for playing in events. Like, Magic players are very coddled, entitled people, and the online YouTube community takes it a step further with giveaways. A lot of YouTube Magic channels do giveaways, and it just furthers the entitlement. It's literally like, if I watch you, you need to give me something. Like, I remember when I started, at first I didn't realize the culture was like this, because before I got here, I didn't watch a lot of Actually, what am I talking about? I had watched one magic YouTube video and didn't really care about it. And so I had never really watched the stuff at all. Had no idea of what it was supposed to be. So I didn't know there was all kinds of people doing giveaways, right? So flash forward to me being like, I don't know, like a month into this, and people are asking me, oh, are you going to do giveaways? And I was getting pissed off because I'm just like, look, I'm making content, genuinely trying to entertain you. And I don't understand why your response to me making like entertainment that I think is good is to go, you going to give me stuff to watch you? Like that concept blows my mind. And then I looked around and saw that everybody was doing giveaways. I hate it. I hate the entitlement community. If you're going to do giveaways, I think it's a terrible, terrible idea. Basically, if you do giveaways, you have to keep doing giveaways. It's death. It's death for a channel. I've watched at least one channel die. He went from 500 to 1,000 subscribers based off of one giveaway, and his channel was just, he was getting no one watching his other videos. He was getting nothing on the return for his investment in terms of what he gave away in the giveaway. He just get people coming by asking, when are you doing the draw for the giveaway? Are you doing more giveaways? There's just people coming entitled asking for things, and I see it happen in other people's streams all the time. Are you doing a giveaway? And I think that it's absurd, honestly. Like, if you want to run a channel where that's what you do, like I run the giveaway channel, that's one thing. But the giveaway thing is just crazy to me to try and drive the growth of your channel. If you want to use it to reward current subscribers, I feel entirely different about that. If you're like, hey, everybody who was already here who didn't know this was going to happen, I want to do a giveaway to reward you guys. That's different in my eyes than giveaways intended to drive subscription to your channel. It's like those Easter chocolates that's hollow inside and it's garbage. It's not the route to success in my eyes. It's not going to get you where you want to be, right? Now, one thing I do want to say, and you need to bear this in mind, because whenever you're listening to anybody give you tips, right, it's coming through their particular prism, their perspective on life. Now, I think that I fall into a small minority on YouTube. I believe the majority of YouTubers are motivated by money, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's part of why they offer the money on the platform, and money is a great thing, and I want it too, but it is not what drives me. That's the decision driver for a lot of people. How can I get the most money from YouTube? And the answer to that tends to be grow the largest subscriber base possible and get the most views as possible to get the most ad revenue as possible. That tends to be the model that is successful for generating revenue for the largest YouTube channels, along with that being supplemented by Patreon. Okay? Now, my deal is I genuinely love to entertain. Like, when I found out that I had the opportunity to just do this and start entertaining people, I made hundreds of videos before I made a penny off of this. And I would make more money if I focused on making the specific videos. And this is a tip you can keep in mind for yourself. Deviate from my path in a way that works for you, especially if you're after the money. Pay attention to what people want to watch the most that you make, and make that. The most successful videos on my channel tend to be the product analysis videos. Those can get, like, I can put out a video now and it can get 100, 200, 500, maybe 1,000 views, you know, but if I do a product analysis video, I can get 10, 15, 20, 25, 30,000 views. And you can see that's a significant difference. And truthfully, it does make a huge difference in terms of ad money. You can make a lot more. I mean, I'm still making a pittance from ad money, but in terms of percentages, if you were to check them against each other, it is a massive upscale, right? So you want to be focusing on the videos that people want to watch from you the most. If you find a format or a style that hits, stick with it. I'm not doing that because I genuinely like to get to do whatever I want. I'm going to get up and do whatever I think is entertaining. And that leads to a lot more fun for me as a creator. I am not looking at this as a moneymaker so much as a vehicle for my art. Now, that being said, I want the opportunity to make money to fund what I'm doing. Other people tend to want money like, okay, I work at McDonald's or I work at this job in an office. I no longer want to work there. I want to have a YouTube job where I work for YouTube and you guys making product X, which is like whatever kind of videos you want to have, pack openings, top lists, specific deck techs, whatever it is that people tend to specialize, right? So they go, I want to leave my job at the factory, and I don't want to have that grind anymore. I want to be like a YouTuber who produces this and makes my money off of advertising revenue, so I'm going to produce the same product. And that ties into the next point I have, which is consistency. Consistency goes a long way for your channel. Giving the same sort of content again and again and again and again will help you grow faster. If you're constantly changing up what you're doing, it will throw people off. That's what happens here on my channel, because I will do things like product analyses, I will do evolution of magic videos, which by their nature tend to be very serious videos, right? Like not a lot of joking going on in that, because it just doesn't feel normal to be doing it in those videos. I could cram them in there, but it just doesn't fit in the natural flow. So then I do the videos that I really love, like the one I did yesterday on Rogue Deck Builder, the joke videos where we all have a good laugh, right? And people get confused and they go, you need to be making specific magic content. And I'm like, this is me making magic content. I'm talking about a magic, like it's just this, but if I was just consistently making product analysis, like if I was just doing product analysis, my channel would be roughly twice as big right now. And I can see that from other channels that started the same size as me, same time as me. And basically, because of their consistent level of deployment of material, and like not only the consistency of how often they put it out, but putting out the exact same kind of things, people know what to expect, and that makes them comfortable. They can go to you for X. Think about all the YouTube channels you watch. If you watch YouTube channels, do they not only do one or two things for the most part, right? Most of them tend to not be all over the place. I am running a channel that's more of a personality vehicle than a product vehicle. So how it works is people will come to my channel and they will find that my personality resonates with them. They will enjoy who I am and what I'm doing. And they will say, I'm on board for whatever you're doing. I don't care whatever you're doing. As long as you insert you into it, I will watch it. I would watch you eat a tub of peanut butter. Like, people have responded to me that way. And then there are other people it's like, I wouldn't watch you do anything except make product X, but with product X, you're my go-to guy. So I don't care about anything else you do, but your Commander videos are the best thing for Commander in the world to me, and you're my #1 stop for that. Those are the two types of camps you tend to fall into. So I'm running a personality passion project, and there are other people out there who are running like a company money project, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with either perspective, but you need to understand what and who you are, because it will help you get where you want to be faster. We already talked about resiliency. You need to be able to weather not only bad comments, but you need to be able to weather thumbs down on your videos. They don't actually mean anything. They don't factor into the algorithm. They are just a person expressing that they didn't like your content, didn't like you, we're just having a bad day. Thumbs down is meaningless because it's negative feedback without any explanation of what it is. And there are people who come to my channel who thumbs down my video just because they'll go, oh, it's got 70 likes and no thumbs down. Here's a thumbs down just because I felt like you need a thumbs down. And they tell me in the comments. So the people are very capricious. The thumbs down don't mean anything. The reason they exist is because people need a way to express their unhappiness with things. And if they didn't have a thumbs down button, then YouTube would get a lot more complaint notices about channels of people going, I hate this channel and fuck them and blah, 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 blah. But if they have a thumbs down button, they can just go, I hit that angry thumbs down button. That shows you. And they leave. And meanwhile, it doesn't affect you at all. And YouTube goes, don't worry about it. It's so unimportant that when it comes to the phone app version of the YouTube app, it doesn't even show you the thumbs down, okay? It shows you on the website, but not on the actual app, because like, don't even worry about that. So the thumbs down, don't worry about it. They'll bother you more at first, because here's what you need to do. Weigh the thumbs down against the number of views on your video, not against the number of thumbs up. If you have 93 views on a video and you have 3 thumbs up and 2 thumbs down, it's not like 40% of the people hated your video. 2 people out of 90 something dislike your video enough to go, meh. That's all that it means, and that's the perspective you need to keep in mind. It is difficult at first. Honestly, when you're not used to rejection, especially if you have never done any kind of sales or anything and you're not used to rejection, it's probably going to be pretty hard. You're going to feel like you deserve more, but understand that by making videos, you're not entitled to anything. There are years and years worth of content uploaded to YouTube every single day, and that is not an exaggeration. If you compile all the time that's uploaded, all the videos, all the time of those videos that's uploaded to YouTube every day, that's years and years of video content you're competing with that was just uploaded today, let alone every other day. What makes you good enough to watch? You got to remember that. You're not entitled to viewers. You have to keep a healthy perspective, and you need to be appreciative of the people who have come by to check your stuff out. But at the same time, don't bow down to them and change your channel unless you just feel like listening to them is going to get you where you want to be in terms of, I'm just chasing the money and I'm trying to get as many people as possible. There is nothing wrong with that. Again, remember my advice needs to be moderated by your own personal desires, right? Just pick up what you feel is useful from me and ignore the rest. So your upload frequency needs to be consistent. Whether you're going to do it once a week, once a month, or pretty much every day, you need to be consistent for people. That's much better. I don't worry about a particular upload time because I upload almost every day, and usually, well, not usually, but sometimes now. I used to do it more, twice a day. Now I've slowed down at mostly my fans' request and because I have a disabled wife. So you also have to understand you have to work at the pace that you can, right? You will burn yourself out otherwise, okay? Then we've got, what do we got here? Formats and series. You know what? Give a little bit of consideration to a format or series when you find, like, put a little bit of structure into a video concept, and then if people respond to it, you can go back to that and you can take the same format elements and repeat them with variations to figure out what works and what doesn't. Determination. You have to be determined to stay in it. When I see people who have, like, I don't know, like 100 subscribers and they're like, oh, I just can't do it. Oh, you know, you can tell from their comments they feel like they deserve more. I have no respect for that. Like, either you're in it to do it, either you're in it because you just want to do it as a hobby and you're just having fun. Cool. Then you don't even have to worry about that, right? You're just doing it, nothing to worry about. But if you want to make it up there, if you think that you just get there because you want it, when has anything in your life worked that way? When has anything worthwhile ever been easy? It hasn't, honestly. Jesus. All right. Personal goals, that's obviously just whatever goals you have with your channel. Make sure you know what you actually want underneath so you don't screw yourself up, all right? So what else? Monetization. My suggestion is, because monetization is so hard to get now in terms of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, I would suggest starting out with a Patreon and a PayPal setup. There's nothing wrong with giving people the ability to give you money. It's tacky and disgusting to be begging for money right from the get-go without ever having provided any value. Yes. I mean, if you set your stuff up right away and you keep talking about your Patreon and your PayPal and you've created no content whatsoever, that's a bad look. That's not a good setup. But if you just have the Patreon and PayPal set up so that people can give you money, there's nothing wrong with that. I have a weird relationship, or at least used to, had a weird relationship with creating content and money. I had PayPal set up and people would give me PayPal. I set it up just in case people wanted to give me stuff. But then when people gave me stuff, I felt weird because I really love, I absolutely love entertaining people. You can tell, look how much I'm laughing and how much fun I have in my goofing around videos, right? So I absolutely love getting to do what I do. I feel like it's a joy and a privilege, right? So then people come along and they were giving me money and I kept trying to give it back. I kept contacting them by PayPal going, did you mean to give this money? Was it an accident? Do you want it back? And they kept going, stop trying to give me the money back, dude, you're being weird. Because what's going on when you're a creator is you're providing people value. What I love so much about what I do, and part of why I'm so passionate about it, is making people laugh is so important to me. It's what I've been doing my whole life. Now, what I'm going to do now, you know what? I'm going to break down, because this is something I was going to say as well. You need to understand yourself and why you're doing it. So I'm going to break this down using myself. I absolutely love to entertain people and make them laugh. I've done it every day of my life, no matter where I go. To the girl behind the counter in the Burger King, making her chuckle, to the point where, like, wherever I go, like, the girl at the Burger King will be slipping me, like, coupons for free burgers. I go to the McDonald's, the girl here is like, here's a lifetime, like a 2-year thing that'll give you a 15% discount. And it's not stuff they're handing out to everyone. It's special loyalty stuff. Like, it's extra stuff that I was getting because I was bringing something extra to their life, right? And people, my whole life, would just give me things randomly. And I never understood it. YouTube can actually help you understand more about yourself and your interactions with others as well if you pay attention. But people always gave me things because the thing was, and I never realized, I was giving them value. When you make somebody laugh, you take them out of reality for a moment. You can't be miserable and laugh at the same time. It's literally impossible. It may only be 5 seconds that you're out of that misery, but you get that bubble, you get that escape, and that's so valuable to people like me, right? So as a result, I want to give it to other people, and I've been trying desperately to do it my whole life. Here, laugh, please, just laugh, right? And I just fucking comedy out the ass. So people give back. So have your PayPal and Patreon set up so people have that ability to give back to you because they value you, okay? It's not greedy to allow people to show you that you have value. Just understand that. Walk that line. You know, there's that line where it's not, you set it up so people can if they want, and because YouTube no longer gives you that avenue. It no longer looks gross to have a Patreon right away when it's so hard to get to having a high, like an actual level where you can even be monetized, let alone a high level of monetization. So go for that. Just get that set up right away. Get a PO box as well so you can interact with your fans if that's something you want to do. Another thing you have to decide is whether you're going to let people know who you are and where you're from, right? That you should, my belief is you shouldn't give people your home address at all, right? Like I have a P.O. box set up. I think I'm at the level where anybody who wants to interact with the public should be. Everybody knows the city I live in, the country I live in. Everybody knows my full name. That's disclosed at the end of every video. In fact, you'll see it at the end of this video because that's like I got a P.O. box and I set it up right away because I love mail and people mail me postcards and fan mail, and I have my first fan letter and I've carried it around in my wallet for the last 7 months. It's one of the most awesome things I ever got in my life. And you know what it is? It's just a lined sheet of paper with one paragraph on it. It's one of the most meaningful things I've ever gotten in my life. It's tangible, guys. And I'll say this to anybody who is watching, who is not specifically like setting up a channel, thinking about the other channels that they like. Guys, supporting your favorite creators on Patreon, it makes such a huge difference. And not just in terms of the money. The money is amazing, first of all, because like even if you're somebody who jumps on board for $1, right, you're given, yo, I'm about to watch 1,000 of your videos a month with ads on them, bro. That's the equivalent of doing that for them. It's literally like I'm gonna watch more videos than a human can right now by giving you this $1. But it goes way further than that. When I get up, I'm having a shitty day, or I start to think my content is garbage, because I still have those issues occasionally, which is, it's weird, I know, but that's how it works. You all have issues you have to work with. But anyways, sometimes this is one of the things I use to combat it. You point at the Patreon and you say there are human beings who value what you're doing so much that they're willing to put their money down. Like, money means you had to go out and work for that. You had to earn that. You had to put your value out into the world to get that back. People paying you money means you have value. You've provided genuine value. And a Patreon takes it a step further. Like, a Patreon is saying, I know you're going to provide value into the future. It's not like when someone goes, I like your video, I gave you $5. That's amazing. That's a dope feeling. When someone says, I like what you do so much that from now on, I'm going to make sure you get $5 at the beginning of each month. I'm going to give you that peace of mind of letting you know that you have X amount for budgeting. You want to get props, you want to get whatever, you want to get green screens. Guys, it makes such a huge difference. Take it from me, somebody who's been able to get these small increases through the generosity of others. It feels so amazing to have your content valued in that way. It's so awesome. Every time I get a new patron, it is such an exciting feeling. So make sure to support the people that you think are doing a good job that way. I know that's an aside. I know this is supposed to be tips for new creators, but I just wanted to throw that out there. So, in terms of interacting with the community, you decide your own level of interaction with them, right? I'm a full tilt, interact with them hardcore, liking on all the comments, responding to as many as I can, wanting to make people feel welcome and special. One of the cool things about YouTube is you can make people feel special just by responding to them as a creator. It's amazing. If you could make people feel special this way just by walking down the street, I would do it all the time, honestly. If just saying things to people walking down the street would make them feel special and have them go, thank you for responding to me, I would do it all the time. It's incredible. I really advise not to be one of those misers who thinks that holding on to the likes and using them as a rare, reserved thing, all you're doing is aggrandizing yourself and pretending like your likes are more important or that you're not an everyday person. And don't ever fool yourself into thinking, no matter how big your channel gets, that you're better than other people. If you think you're better than other people, you need to think it for other reasons, okay? I mean, let's do this right now. We need to talk about understanding yourself. It goes into positives and negatives. So let's talk about me. I'm going to use myself as an example so I can show you how to do it, okay? So I got into this as a passion project. I love to entertain people, and I believe that I am genuinely incredibly funny, okay? I think that I'm really, really funny to the point where I believe I'm hands down, like indisputably, I should say, the funniest person who makes Magic the Gathering videos. There's no question about it, and I think that I'm also one of the funniest people on YouTube entirely. And the evidence is already out there in my videos, okay? I believe this firmly, and that is going to sound probably a bit arrogant, and I don't care. That's confidence as well. You have to believe in your own abilities, and I know it for a fact. You can't spend 20 years making people laugh and have them tell them you should be a comedian and have your channel blow up and people join your Patreon and offer to give you money because you're making them laugh and not understand, yeah, you know what, I accept it. I am very funny. And so the downside to this is there is that I go into other people's live streams and things like that, and I think to myself, this is not very entertaining. Like I'm better than this. And so you get that side of it as well. You have to fight against it. It's like, because am I better than this? No, I'm different than this, right? I'm funnier than this, but that doesn't make it better. So you have to be careful of falling into like slice elitism. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm really good in this tiny little wedge, so I exist as a special entity. Honestly, anybody can be a big Magic YouTuber, as evidenced by the fact that the biggest Magic channels are lazy as hell. I don't care. You've got fucking Larry Ladyhair over at the Talarian Academy, who's fucking the biggest YouTuber out there, and he's lazy and he's fake. And you've got Wedge at the Manosaurus, who's lazy as hell, and I haven't watched enough of his content to even know if he's fake. And then you got Rudy over at Alpha Investments, who's fake and real at the same time. So part of what he's saying is real to you, and you can tell, but part of it's fake because he just wants to rob and pillage. He bothers me the least, in all honesty, because at least he's being himself. He's lying to the people in the videos, but that's just because he wants to take their money from them. So what are you gonna do, right? That's everybody being who they are, right? So no, that's not everyone being who they are. That's Rudy being who he is, and the other two being fake, I guess. Either way, I'm digressing a little. And I don't know. The bar for Magic content is so low, it's kind of insulting, honestly. There's a reason I never watched Magic content before I got here, and that's because most of it is atrocious. So, one of my tips to you is believe in yourself, because literally, when it comes to Magic YouTubery, anybody can do it. Just be yourself. Even if you need to do some proxy at first and not be on the screen, don't worry about it. Just get comfortable, be yourself. Don't feel like you need a bunch of gear to get started. I feel like I've probably yammered on way too much. I know I started to get blah, blah, blah about the big channels, but I just wanted to let you know, like, look at me. I'm a small channel, and I just shit-talked all the fucking big channels. Oh, wait, well, let's talk about Unsleeved Media too. Fuck him, he's boring, he takes too long to get to the point. So there you go. I just shit-talked all the biggest Magic channels that exist, and I'm tiny. You know how much that's going to affect my channel? Not at all. It doesn't matter. Some people are going to fucking wank. There'll be a couple of thumbs down, but fuck them. Who gives a shit? At the end of the day, I'm going to keep making funny videos. I'm always going to do what I want, but understand that because I behave like this and what I just did there, that's not going to help my subscriber count, right? If I didn't throw all that shit in there and it'd be myself, I would have more subscribers. So if you want subscribers and money, you got to play by tighter, more PC rules. But if you just want to have fun, you get to be yourself more. And that's how I'm going to end it off, guys. So thanks for coming out. I hope that at least some of this rambling diatribe was of use to you. To all my fans who have probably watched this as well, or at least some of you, thanks for coming out, guys. While I was going over all this, it made me think a lot about how much I appreciate you. And another point, actually, I should make is appreciate the people who come and find you first, guys. It really makes a huge difference. Their positivity will help you a lot. And the Magic community is so incredibly positive. When they found me and dragged me into content creation, because that's how it went for me, they were so overwhelmingly nice. Don't be afraid. Honestly, there are so few rude people in the community, and they're almost all kids. So just come on, guys, get in the pool. Get in the pool with Papa Perp. Come on, get in the shallow end and swim to Daddy. The water's fine.
Hey, what up, man? Monkey here. Together, we are the sixth color of magic. Purple, baby. Oh!